fine since Logan's scared to talk.
Yeah.
So what is up, people? Welcome to episode 35 of Uncalled For. We're every single Monday night. Almost every night. What?
You said what's up?
Oh, I thought you were like pointing at the light thinking there was something wrong.
I mean, the light is up.
Okay, bud. Okay, so...
Weston's not here. I had to do something stupid for him.
Shut up, Dan. Now we're even with everything with Weston. Weston's role is officially filled.
Weston...
Terrible response to what's up and
always,
shut up someone.
No, it's not someone. It's always just shut up Jordan.
Okay, shut up, Logan.
It's very true.
We're every single Monday night we get together, except for last week because of the weather.
Feels like I haven't been
The
here
weather
forever.
was really bad.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
I
been
know,
2
it's
weeks.
like forever.
Feels like forever, yeah. It does happen when you're away from me. Time drags on.
It was so nice.
Oh. Okay. Well, every Monday night we get together, talk about random stuff. And this week Logan has random stuff to talk about.
Not really. Mine's pretty predictable.
It's very predictable, but I had to do a sad segue.
Yeah.
So just let me do it.
So I can do my topic first. It's pretty predictable for those who know me. We just got a Pokemon Presents the other day.
You're not talking about chicken wings?
That's you, not me. But
chicken wings.
So with that, we got the announcement of Gen 9.
So hyped.
Also known as Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Super excited for this.
I'm getting Scarlet.
Yeah.
Scarlet letter.
I think, well, first off, I kind of do want to talk a little bit just about the Direct as a whole, or the Presents as a whole. It's not a Direct. Same thing, though. For the most part, it was predictable. Like, that's kind of the stuff I figured they were going to show, just kind of a lot of their mobile stuff, a lot of the, like Unite, Pokemon Cafe Remix, stuff like that. Like
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
Can't forget about that magical
stuff like that.
thing.
And so, it's pretty all right, pretty predictable. And then they got to actually something I was really excited about, the Legends Arceus stuff. They added a update to that called the Daybreak update, which isn't a huge update, but I played it last night, and it's really sweet, actually. So,
can you do me a favor and just kind of summarize what's different between that and the normal? Because I haven't played it yet.
So, yeah, it's actually kind of it's almost like a DLC, but not a deal. It's not big enough to call it a DLC, but there's actually a story little thing you have to do, and then there's just a whole new mechanic they added. So basically what you do is you start off and there's two new features to it. One is a battle kind of tournament thing you can do with Igneo, I think. Yeah, Igneo. And then there is the kind of main thing is it's called mass outbreaks. And what it is it's multiple, like 10 to 12 outbreaks on the map at once, and it's a timer. It's like a storm, basically.
Did they make it harder to shiny hunt then? Because I heard that they made it harder.
They cut the odds a little bit, but it's still
it's still incredibly high.
It's still pretty good, 1 in 200 or something like that if you have everything or whatever. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I was really excited about that. I played that last night. I got 2 shinies. I got a shiny Kadabra and a shiny Duskull. And then
Arceus.
Yeah. And so that's a cool new and that's going to really help me complete my deck. So that was a really cool announcement. Then we got, I believe it was the anime announcement, which actually sounds pretty cool. They're making a Legends Arceus anime.
It's an online only thing, right?
Yeah, it's going to be like a YouTube series, but it's set in the Arceus world, and it's going to be kind of its own original thing, which is cool. And then we got to Gen 9, which was a really interesting announcement. Everybody at first thought it was
Detective Pikachu 2. Honestly, I would have been fine with that as well. I love Detective Pikachu. I want to see a second one.
Yeah, I think there's definitely probably one in the works.
I want one so bad.
But which will not load.
So they
sad.
announced Gen 9, and they officially confirmed on their website, and just through the screenshots and stuff they showed that this is a true open world game. It's the first.
The towns don't even have loading screens.
No. So they've clarified that on their website. They said that they say something on the website walk seamlessly between towns and routes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's not even a loading screen to get into a town, which I think is super cool.
Yep. So it's completely open world, and they're really pushing that idea. On their website, they say open world a ton.
Zach wrote a novel.
But yeah. So we got a few screenshot, or we get a few like little clips of the world, and it looks really cool. It's set in Spain, is like kind of the region it's based on, and so with
Agree, Zach.
So this sounds like you.
the architecture is really cool. I like the whole like it's like it looks almost like Delfino Plaza. I'm not gonna lie, from Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you played Sunshine?
I have
like,
not, but I've seen it.
Well, like the whole.
It also has a really good soundtrack for that.
Yeah.
For that area too.
Well, like that whole main town they showed off with like the square that has like all the types around it.
Yeah.
And like the tiles floor or whatever. It looks like Delfino Plaza, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I just love the architecture of it. I love the open world. I think there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with that, especially coming off Arceus, which kind of was like the transition into this, I think. But yeah, so we got that, and then we got these starters, which are sick.
Fuecoco for the win.
Yeah, Fuecoco,
I won't even look at the other
and what is the last? I can't ever say it.
Sprigatito.
Sprigatito, yeah.
Is it Toto or Tito?
Tito.
Sprigatito.
Sprigatito,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, those are sick, and I'm excited to see what they evolve into.
Completely agree, Zach.
So just super quick, since we have acknowledged Zach's comment like 4 times, I'm going to read it here. He goes, I am hesitantly looking forward to Gen 9. My main problem is, even from the trailer, it looks like the game was stuttering. The game looks awful, and I don't normally care for graphics, but Game Freak seems to be struggling to find a feel for 3D Switch games. I honestly think they need to go more stylized to match the Pokemon as compared to the odd pseudo-realism that they try to hit. I'm also worried that it's coming out too soon. That being said, I will probably get Scarlet and the Fire Starter. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, and I want the game to be amazing, but Game Freak has given me little to believe that they will deliver this time. Which sounds exactly like what you always say, Dan.
Yeah.
This is basically what Dan says
a
every time
realist,
every
and I
time we talk
appreciate
about
it.
Nintendo. This is what Dan
Yeah.
says. It's
No,
word for word almost.
Listen, I think I agree to an extent. There's spots in the trailer that look rough. There's some visual things that definitely look rough, but you also got to think that it's still almost a year away technically, because like sometime in November. So we still got
it's like November 18th is my guess.
Yeah, sometime in there. And so we still got plenty of time for the game to get polished. And if you look at when Brilliant Diamond came out and Legends Arceus came out, like I know people still have issues with the visual of Legend Arceus, but from the first trailer to the like game coming out, there's still a lot of visual improvement that happened in that game. Whether you think it looked good in the end or not, there was still some huge leaps into the quality of visuals from the development of the game. So I think they're still going to touch some things up. Obviously, do I think it's going to be perfect? No. I mean, Pokemon's not known to get the visuals 100% right.
No.
But I think, it is looking really nice. I think there's a lot of promising things in the trailer they showed, such as like Survivor and Magnemite were 2 that stuck out to me, like that they're adding like textures, like more realistic textures to them. I think that's cool. Like Survivor's got scales, which is sick. That gives me like, kind of Pokemon Snap model designs feels, where they're like really detailed models, which I like. And then like, I know it's an easy thing. It's an easy thing to do, but like just adding the metallic look on Magnemite is cool. But yeah, I think it's gonna end up looking really good in the end. It's just gotta take time to get some of the kinks worked out. But
do you know what I'm actually really excited for? That's not the game, but also kind of is with it.
What's that?
We're gonna be getting a new set of cards.
That's what
Like-
the only thing I would care about.
Right? We've been in the Sword and Shield set forever.
I'm ready for new
So
sets.
the fact that we're gonna be finally moving on to the next set of cards is kind of fun too. But I am looking forward to it. I think open world is obviously how it's going to go, and I think with Legends Arceus we've seen a lot. With how the battle and catching mechanics and stuff, I feel like they're going to bring some of that in, maybe not all of it.
Totally understand, Zach. You're not being overly negative. You're just being realistic, I guess, with what Game Freak has done in the past.
Yeah,
I
totally
understand.
I think the Switch
agree.
should be done with by now, but that's a whole different topic for a whole different day.
Not even about the Switch. It's just.
Well, no, I mean to get because they want to improve their games and they want things to look better, but at the same time they can't because they're limited.
No.
by what the Switch
They
is
don't
able to
care
do.
about their games looking better. I can tell
No.
you that for sure. That's a game company culture.
Yeah,
of
Nintendo doesn't care.
They
And
don't
even,
care about graphics.
Even if they did, I think I'd still argue, like, as much as I love Pokemon, they they can do really pretty visuals on the Switch, and they've proved that with like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. I mean, even Breath of the Wild, that's probably the best example, just because it's kind of really close to how Arceus feels.
We need Breath
in
of the
ways.
Wild 2 at some point.
It is coming.
I know.
Breath of the Wild was
they've been
good
saying
with
that
like
for
the
3
cell shading and
years.
stuff, but all around, it was better than obviously Arceus and
Yeah.
stuff. But they still could have done a lot more with Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah.
It's just they limit themselves
Yeah.
in certain instances, and in other instances they just don't care because that's not their focus.
Yeah.
And just like with, I mean, you guys are really excited about the new Pokemon games. It's just gonna be another Pokemon game to me. I don't
See,
think they're gonna do anything different.
I
It
feel
looks
like,
like Sword and Shield, like the same style, open
Which
world.
I
sure.
liked.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean-
really like Sword and Shield.
I didn't mind Sword and Shield. I think
I think Sword and
Looking
Shield's
back
up
on
there
it,
as
it's
one of my
not-
top Pokemon
it's not
games.
bad. I want to put it up there, but I would say it's better than X and Y, I think. But I don't know. I can't put it over like the classic, 2D games in my opinion. But I do not think it's a bad game. I do like Sword and Shield, but I don't think I could replay it anytime soon. It's kind of the same issue I have with Sun and Moon, is as much as I like the game, the replay value is not really there because of how slow paced it is.
For games that are like, the whole thing about Pokemon games are replay valuable, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of them.
Yep.
Since quite a while ago, Gen 3 maybe, I couldn't care less about playing newer games again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
For what that's about, like, they're all about replay like value. I don't ever want to replay them. I think it's the same old shtick all over again, adding maybe a little new thing. It's so old now.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
mean, I
boring
get
to
it.
me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I see the way I play it though too, and going back to Sword and Shield is I like to do shiny hunting. So for me, just grinding out for shinies, there's something for me to do at least, so I don't have to
Yeah.
Sure,
replay
if
it.
that's your thing.
Yeah. No.
I don't
Sword
have to
and
replay it. I just am able to go through and actually.
Sword and Shield is actually really good for shiny hunting. There's actually some really cool mechanics you can do, and I think it's overall a really good game for shiny hunting.
Yeah.
But
I love like finding shinies and stuff. That's cool. Like, especially when it's odds that are crazy,
Mhm.
But I've never
Oh,
been
the full
one.
odds?
Yeah,
Yeah, those are
like,
fun.
Not like Arceus is really easy,
yeah.
Yeah, Arceus
but,
is like way too easy.
I'm not one to spend weeks and months trying to find a shiny of a certain Pokemon. Like,
Yeah.
that's not me. Like, that's not
Yeah.
fun for me. So I understand that that's a big thing for a lot of people, and that's cool and stuff. But
Mhm. Yeah.
just I don't get much out of the Pokemon series now. It's,
Yeah.
it's
And
so I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
It's
not-
lost its luster.
yeah. I get that.
So moving on to a more positive note, I guess.
Yeah.
Looking at the 3 starters, I'm going with Fuecoco. You cannot change my mind. I think he's going to be Ghost Fire.
Yeah.
Or Fire Ghost. I guess Fire would be primary. Ghost would be secondary.
Yeah.
And-
I'm leaning towards Fuecoco as well.
and I'm super
but
excited for that.
Sprigatito is kind of.
Sprigatito's cool,
Also,
and then
I think it's the most aesthetically pleasing.
Quaxley is just kind of a derpy duck, which I do like. I like the derpy.
I
I
think
like the
but-
derpy stuff.
I think they're all really
But
nice.
I
They
think
crap on the water starters every time.
they do.
Man.
We were talking about this before. We went to Wings before this, and we were talking about this on our way to Wings. They have not had a good water starter since Gen 3.
I disagree.
Mudkip
with
was
that.
the last one, I think.
Yeah, I fully agree with you.
I think Piplup's awesome. I
Piplup
think
sucks.
I don't like Empoleon.
Sorry,
I
just
think
don't think it's good.
No, I don't think he is either.
Greninja's amazing.
Greninja's
so
is
Froakie's
meh,
awesome.
Oshawott terrible. I hate that Pokemon, actually.
Oshawott is growing on me a lot.
Bad.
Oshawott has grown on me a lot. But
I don't like
think,
Froakie, to be honest, Zach.
I don't like
I
Froakie
think
that much either.
Greninja's
Yeah, I think
overrated.
Froakie's awesome.
But I think that the fire ones they normally have decent. The grass ones have been like I love
Fire
Grookey.
ones are like always the same thing.
See,
recently, though.
Recently,
you know?
I love Grookies. Like they had a good grass one for me. Like I think Rillaboom is just awesome as a third
Grass
one there.
are always pretty different.
Yeah, which
think
I like.
They do the best with the grass ones.
Yeah.
But they've been some crap ones in there too. What is that one? Is it the same gen as Greninja? The grass.
Chestnut
Yes.
or
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Chespin.
is
would be
is
the
that
original.
such a that might be
That's-
the worst Pokemon ever.
No.
That might just be. I
don't
honestly
like
think Magikarp would be a better starter than that.
I'd take it.
Because at least
Just give
Magikarp
me
evolves
Splash
into
would be
something
fine.
cool.
Yeah, no, I don't like. Gosh, I can't even think of it. I don't like Chespin or the other one, Finnegan. I think
Oh, yeah, I don't
Finnegan's
think
not
they're
great
good.
either. But no, I think this, this game has a lot going for it, and when it comes to the open world aspect, I think that is going to add to that replay value. You getting to go wherever you want. It's kind of a really cool idea, and just kind of seeing that kind of start off in a way in like Legends Arceus, and seeing how cool it was to walk around, like crouch and catch Pokemon. I think that's going to be still a feature in the game.
I don't think it will be.
I don't think
it will be either.
I don't think it's going to be as like fleshed out as Arceus, because that's kind of the main point of Arceus. But I think that you're still going to be able to go and run around and like throw your Pokeballs and throw Pokemon into battle. I think that mechanic's here to stay.
I don't know what they're going to do, because they can't do the same thing with Arceus, because that it takes away that whole mechanic, which was the whole reason for Arceus, right? And I don't know. That's what made Arceus fun, was that new mechanic, And because the open world, it was open world, but I mean, it was, let's be honest, a fairly mediocre environment,
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that similar with the new games, and it takes away at least partial aspects of that, throwing your Pokeball, catching them in the grass and stuff like that, because you got to add battle somehow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good it's going to be or how it's going to flow and work.
I think
we'll see, I guess.
I think it's going to flow just like it does in Arceus. I mean,
see, I'll be honest. I like the idea with Arceus where we were able to, just yeet like 50 Pokeballs at 50 Pokemon, but at the same time, that does take away from what Pokemon kind of is.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't know. It's a cool concept for a one-off game. I don't want it to be the new norm.
I think it is going to be. I think the idea of just being able to throw your Pokeball and like just like the anime, like that's something people have wanted forever, and I think for an open world game it works really well. The one thing I think won't stay is like how the dex works, and I hope that kind of is the case, because
that was the whole purpose of Legends.
But
it wouldn't have a purpose.
I think it'd be amazing. I think it'd be perfect, honestly, if it was, exactly how Arceus is, where it's you run around, you got Pokeballs, you can throw your own Pokeball on at it to like get into battle, and then you would.
I don't think they can, because they're not gonna forsake battling.
Well, no, you don't have to though, because like even in Arceus, they have battles throughout the game, and you could have trainers just like the past games, just standing there in the wild, and you run past them, and then you get in a battle with them. Like there's no hindrance.
Seamless ability though, like you said, like you don't enter a new screen, in your battle like that. I don't think they can do that.
I think they could
outside of the battle.
I mean, have you fought the what is it called? They're like the trio, like the evil trio from Arceus. Like if you can find them randomly on the map.
Oh yeah, in that one, Coastlands.
It's like it's in the same thing. Like in post game, like they're just scattered about randomly sometimes, and you run past them, and a battle starts with them, and it's seamless like that. I think that's exactly how it's going to work.
It kind of freezes the game.
A little bit. I mean, it's going to have like
not entirely seamless,
but it has like it goes cuts to them, and then it cuts to just the like open world battle where you can walk around and stuff. I think that's going to be how it's going to be. Is it's going to be trainers just scattered throughout the world, which is a really interesting idea too, because it's not like route based, so they're going to be just scattered like in this giant.
That does make me curious though, how they're going to do like the levels with progressing through the game.
It's going to be. I bet you it's going to be something along the lines of like, so you're by the first gym is going to be weaker trainers, then you get up to like gym 8 area, you try to walk up there, it's like level 50s, 60s. And
but at that point though, what's from stopping you, and there's probably nothing
open world though,
from
you can
going
go anywhere.
Yeah, or just like even if it's by this area of the open world is one.
Yeah.
But like, what's stopping you from getting your Pokemon to level 100? Fighting 7 gyms and then going back and just wrecking the first one.
There'll probably be some scaling thing where like
I bet it'll be level scaling.
I bet it'll probably
and they're not going to let you go to the last gym first.
See,
I don't think they're going to.
No,
they would have to do something to fix
things
that.
will be locked.
I mean, out of order would be cool. Or just even being like, hey, the gym leader's not here yet. Like,
I bet you that's going to be.
You can go to places.
It's going to be like a check.
You won't be able to get in.
Yeah,
it'll be like the Elite Four check, where it's like you don't have all the badges, you can't be here. So it's like, oh, you don't have 6 badges, you can't fight the 7th gym.
Giovanni's not in the gym yet.
Yeah. It has to be something like that. I don't know.
Fantina's gone. That kind of stuff.
But no, I think it's really, and I like how in the trailer, if you look at it, there's like Pokemon centers just in the middle of the fort, like in just a wild.
It's like,
that's cool.
I mean, it kind of always has been. It's just you've never been able to see it like that.
Well, they're always in towns though, because they're always like part of the
they're
town.
right before like.
I mean,
like
there's
caves and stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple.
I guess
like,
there's a
before
couple.
caves.
There's a bunch
I guess
that are
like
out
yeah,
in, like, middle of nowhere.
that's
right
true.
before a
Gen
cave
1
or
has
a forest or something. You know.
Yeah.
Gen 1 has a couple of those. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess.
What's the cave? Is it Mount Moon?
Yeah,
in
Mount
Gen
Moon.
1, and
Just
then
in
you
front
have.
Even in
There's another one
Diamond
too.
and Pearl, they have one right before a route that you have to go through.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are like that. I'm pretty sure.
What's the other place in
in just
Gen
about
1? That's
every
gonna bug
game.
me. Right by
Rock
the
Tunnel.
power plant. Yeah, Rock Tunnel. There you go. So there's two of them I can think of in Gen
yeah.
1.
There's a bunch.
But it's just
honestly.
cool.
You
It's
just
like-
never
so
seen
it's
it
not
like that.
Yeah.
new.
Yeah, but it's just really cool to see that like this seamless world of like getting closer to like. I mean, obviously they're not going for it, but like Pixelmon, like a lot of those ideas of like
I'm so excited.
going into villages and
I
finding
love
them. It's
Pixelmon,
like that's
dude.
cool, and so to see that
What do you mean it's dumb?
a lot of those ideas come
If I
into
want to play Pokemon, I'll play Pokemon. I don't want to play that on Minecraft.
Dude, it's so much fun though when you can like build your own gym and just kind of do whatever. I adore Pixelmon. You will never change my mind on that. It is my favorite thing.
yeah.
Go for it.
I like Pixelmon just for the Pokemon aspect. I play it more of a Pokemon game than I do Pixelmon. So like I'll go around, catch Pokemon, shiny hunt or whatever, and then like look for gems. But yeah, I think we're getting close to that idea of like just exploring this massive open world, and I think it's gonna be really cool. And it adds to the, like I was saying earlier, it kind of adds to the replay value because there's so much more options for teams now. And I think the level scaling does make sense instead of having like just a bunch of powerful Pokemon towards the end and you catch one and like, oh, you just beat the game with one massively powerful Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense to kind of scale it based on level or whatever. Well, you could go to the like final routes and just like sneak your way up there and get one of like the dragon types and use it. Like that's one of my biggest issues of the Pokemon series is like there's a lot of Pokemon that are really sick. I think Gen 4 struggles with this a lot. Is like there's Pokemon that are really cool, but you can't use them in your playthrough because they're locked behind items you can't get through post game or like levels that are just too insane that you just can't get them by time you face Elite Four and stuff.
See, you just brought up Dragon type and it just popped this memory in my head. I think I saw a Dratini statue in that trailer.
Yeah,
And I am so pumped to get Dragonite in that game to be
Yeah.
on my team. I don't know. I love
and see that's
Dragonite.
the thing. You could
guys-
do that. You
know.
could legitimately potentially start with it. Like you could go catch one right away and then dump your starter, and like
I'm not getting ready for Coco.
I know, but I'm just
He's
saying,
my
like,
boy.
you could do
He's
that.
a ghost pepper.
Like there's not many other
Dump
games
your starter
in Pokemon that you can literally
like-
catch a dragon type right off the bat.
against the essence of Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't do it. I've never done
Yeah.
it, but like I just love the
Be like,
idea.
you're my
of-
firstborn. I disown you for life.
I just love
You'll be locked in a PC forever.
Yeah. I just love the idea of being able to really diversify your team, and kind of get access to the whole decks, well, most of the decks, I should say, instead of just what the game wants you to have at that point.
There will be certain amounts of that regardless. Like they're not gonna. I don't think they'll let you get everything right away.
No. I think
Like there's gonna be level scaling for catching Pokemon too.
There might be, but yeah, I'm still excited for it.
But I just think it's cool to like be able to diversify your team a bit to like where you're not like for the first gym locked behind the first like traditional like Pidgey-clone, Rattata-clone, stuff like that. Like you have more options. Like you could go, oh, there's like mountains over here. You could go catch, an Obama or not Abomasnow, but like a Snover or whatever, and use that on your team. And that's something that usually you can't get to like late game, and just giving you, options to use that you can't typically use on a normal playthrough of games. But yeah, I think it's gonna be super sick. Really looking forward to it. There's also one other thing I want to touch on is there's a lot of like discussion going around of like, okay, what's the mechanic of this game, right? Because each game kind of has its own mechanic, like Mega Evolution, Gigantamax, stuff like that.
And I haven't been thrilled with any of those.
I think Mega Evolution
Megas
awesome.
was way better than Gigantamax.
Oh, 100. I 100% agree with that. But they are saying there's a lot of rumors going around that just has to do with some like star piece thing, because if you look at the Japanese logos, they have like a star, like this kind of star symbol in the logo, and like each previous Japanese logo has had
Would you say that they're a brilliant
agree,
star?
Zach.
they have that's stupid.
Starbirth.
They've had some
This is new Pokemon
I-
card set.
they've had some iteration of the gimmick of the generation in the logo. Gen 6 they had the Mega Stone incorporated into it. And if you actually watch the trailer back, this star logo appears a few other times. So we'll see what that kind of looks like. I hope they bring back Megas. I don't think they will. I kind of think they've delegated that to kind of their side game stuff, which I kind of hate because I think Mega Evolution is amazing.
I think the battle gimmicks, I think they're all kind of crap. Like you
Yeah.
said, they're gimmicks. I think that's a negative thing. I think it's a very lazy way of trying to add something new into the battle mechanics, and I don't think it works.
Yeah, I think
Megas were the closest, were the best.
Megas I think they were perfect. I think they were actually a really cool step up for the series, and I wish they would have kept going with them. Z moves were all right. I think their luster wore off a bit too quick for me. It was cool seeing these really awesome animations, but then it kind of just got old.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
For a little bit, you know.
Now, here's a question: do you think that the power and the agile style moves are going to make its way?
No,
into this?
I think that was that's
the gimmick for Arceus. Okay,
I think that's a Legends Arceus because this is going to be this is Gen 9, so this
Yeah.
is going to be the next step in the competitive, and that whole battle style of strong and agile is cool, but it doesn't work for competitive Pokemon because it breaks the game so much. You could literally there's times where in Legends Arceus you can attack 4 times
It's
without
dumb.
getting the other person getting a turn.
That only worked for Arceus because battling is so crazy powerful.
well, I guess if you can
And
have
everything
a 1v5 and
destroyed
stuff.
everything.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also
That's the only way.
it's also a solo game, so
Yeah.
you're able to cheese some of that stuff and get away with it instead of in a competitive nature, it's not possible. So they're definitely going back to just normal stuff, and they've already confirmed abilities are coming back because they have the starters have their abilities. They're just a generic Blaze, Torrent, and whatever I can't think of the grass one right now, but so it's gonna be the same kind of traditional format for battling. I think that we are used to from Sword and Shield, kind of getting upgraded and updated a little bit for Gen 9 competitive. But yeah, I think definitely the battle style thing is a thing of the past.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see when it comes out. Probably in November would be my guess.
Yeah,
they didn't put a release date. I'm guessing it's going to be
100%
mid-November.
November.
End of 2020.
They've always released November.
What did I say? I think November 18th.
That's
would
what
be,
I've heard too. Because what would that be?
That'd be a Friday, so it's definitely going to be November 18th.
Yeah, November 18th or 11th maybe, but either one of those.
Why Scarlet and Violet? Is that an homage to Red and Blue?
See, I've heard that.
kinda thinking
I've
it
heard that
has
it's
to be.
kind of this might be a soft reboot, and
You know what? They have Dratini. That's all I care about. So,
which either way, I think it's cool. I like going back to colors. We haven't gone to colors since Gen 5, since Black and White. So it's been
a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time since
Yeah.
we've had colors. And
So absence of color and all color.
but
So not really.
but
Still technically something to do with color.
yeah, I've heard that too, Zach. The ultraviolet and infrared. We'll see. I think
Violet.
Ooh, that'd be kinda
it's
cool.
gonna definitely. It's all based on the legendaries for these games. That's
Which they
typically-
haven't shown yet.
Typically, what it is. So
Better have
which
good ones.
I'm excited to see them.
They haven't had good ones
I
in a while.
haven't think.
I don't know. I like Zamazenta and Zacian a little bit.
I mean,
had
they're
good ones for a
cool,
while.
but they don't seem like they're the main legendaries. They
One
they
was
almost
the, one
just
was
seem
the
like
last really cool ones.
The last really cool ones.
Rayquaza.
I think so too.
Rayquaza.
Giratina was really sick. I don't really Dialga and
Dialga, Palkia I
were
love.
okay.
Yeah.
I like Dialga, Palkia,
I don't think
Arceus.
Arceus is
I think
that great.
Arceus is sick. Let's see, Gen 5.
Everything after
I
that.
liked Reshiram and Zekrom actually. Kyurem is pretty sweet. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Gen 6, Yveltal and Xerneas are pretty cool.
I was never a huge fan.
And then let's see,
You're kind of strange for Pokemon.
Solgaleo and Lunala are pretty cool. I like them. I like the idea of they're in
They come from the same thing.
yeah, they're like an evolution. Like that was a really cool idea for
That I appreciate the branching evolution. That's cool.
yeah.
I didn't think the things exactly were the greatest Pokemon, but
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
you know.
And then Yeah, and then we got some Zentanization, which I thought were okay.
We should probably at some point be moving on though,
But yeah.
because it is 7:30.
I think that pretty much covers what I
So
kind of want to talk about.
really excited, fairly
Yeah.
excited. We'll see what happens.
I'm more super excited for right now
Cards.
just because of Fuecoco and the cards.
I'm always excited for cards.
I can only imagine that Fuecoco, because it fits my branding so well. When you like with the spicy food, it's a derpy Pokemon. Like
think
I
it looks
just
dumb.
yeah, it does. He's derpy, which that mixed with a hot pepper.
Starters always look dumb.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love
Like
it.
I can already picture
Just
his
make a
anime
cool starter.
like it's an anime adaptation. It's gonna be just like Ash's Totodile. Like if you remember that from back
And
in the day,
it flips out.
just
and
like on
dances
crack
and
all the
stuff,
time.
yeah.
Like that's gonna be Fuecoco in the anime.
I'm all for it. So, anyway, speaking of things I'm all for, I was all for getting a PS5 in the new game, but now Dan's here to talk about it without a PS5 though. But Dan, move on.
You can't wait that long, man. It's good.
No,
So
I want to get it. I do.
a week and
It's a free
a few
upgrade.
days or so.
I think it's free.
I think it's 8 days now. For Horizon Forbidden West came out. So I was a huge fan of Zero Dawn.
I was too.
It
Great
was a
game.
fantastic game. You need to play it, Logan.
You haven't played it yet?
No, I've not played Horizon.
It's-
Do you want it?
No, I have it
Really,
Okay.
really good.
because I think it was on Games Pass or not Game Pass, but PlayStation Plus or whatever.
Might have been. It was, 'cause
it was.
Because I,
I have
have
it
it.
there, yeah,
That's
it
how I've
was.
gotten it. I think.
I still haven't played the DLC for that.
What is it?
Frozen something.
Frozen Wilds.
Frozen Wilds. Yeah,
It's good.
I haven't
It's
played
really
the
good.
DLC yet for it, but I do love the game itself. It's fantastic. I'd say like a solid 9 or 9.5 out of 10 for that game.
At least, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It was a well-needed action adventure RPG.
Yep.
Well put together that we just needed one for a while, and it got Game of the Year, I'm pretty sure, and it really deserved it.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
Forbidden West came out, and I just want to say my first review, I guess, of how far I am. I'm pretty far into the game, but
Like a percentage, what do you think?
are we going like 100%, like everything collected? And
Like
everything
just through the
that?
story.
Over halfway, probably.
You're over halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay.
60% probably.
Okay.
I'd say it's Zero Dawn with just more.
I'm on board already.
So a lot more machines, different machines and everything to fight. A lot more different weapons and everything and outfits, or your armors and stuff. Bigger map, lots of places to go. It's huge.
It's San Francisco, right?
Partially,
Okay.
and Las Vegas and other places.
Wait, Vegas too?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Pacific Southwest or whatever.
Because I remember them showing like the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff,
Yep,
in a few
and I'm
spots
just
in
going to
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco, so
Okay. Because I know the
that's-
first one was Denver.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's mostly in Colorado, but there's some little bits of other pieces. But yeah, it's Pacific Southwest, I think, for
I
the most part.
really want to play this.
Looks freaking stunning. I have it on PS4 and it looks good.
That's great to hear,
So
actually.
environmental, it's like they've kept everything solid, like the same, because it was always a smooth game, right?
Yeah.
Seamless gameplay. It was awesome.
Now, you don't have a PS4 Pro, do you? Just the base PS4?
Just space.
Okay, and it runs smooth on that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's actually great.
Runs smooth, and it's just everything's revamped to better.
How does it look in comparison to the
It looks really good.
Zero Dawn?
It looks really good.
Does it look better? Or
Yeah,
the
I
same?
think it looks better.
Okay.
Yep.
So I've seen screenshots with people on PS5 and like they get in the photo mode and you're able to like zoom in on Aloy's ear and like you can see like the individual like the fuzz on her ear
Yeah,
even.
you
You
can
know,
see
it's
like
like
beach fuzz and stuff.
yeah, and it's like the amount of detail that went
They
into
put
that
a lot of-
game
like, there's,
is insane.
You're like obviously in the desert for a while and stuff. When she's in the desert, she'll sweat, and you can see sweat on her.
I think one of the most impressive graphical bits I've seen was in the photo mode when there was some old guy sitting down in front of her, like you're talking to an old man, and the guy is zoomed up on Aloy's eye, and you can see the reflection of the old man in her eyeball, which
really
I was
good.
like, that just is ridiculous to me. And I that's kind of why I want to play it on PS5 over PS4, because I don't know if you're gonna get that detail.
You probably won't.
Is that
you
ray
know?
tracing? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has ray tracing in there
Okay.
with that. For
There's
that, it'd
lots
have
of-
to
lots
be.
of
Yeah,
different stuff, but no, it's fantastic. It takes place 6 months after the first game. It just
is that it? Only 6
It
months?
literally just jumps right into the story again and continues.
So it'd be smart for me to replay Zero Dawn.
You don't
then
necessarily
first.
have to,
I kind of want to though. If
but
it's
you
right
can.
after.
Yeah.
I kind of want to.
Or at least look up an in-depth like story lore thing
Yeah.
of just Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
But it jumps right back into it. Reoccurring characters, people you've met. You know how you kind of like, if you did everything in the first game, at the end, in the final kind of stuff, you have people that fight for you and stuff like that. You become your friends.
Yeah.
Well, people reoccur, and
that's super
and like
cool.
there's just more. I don't want to give much away because you haven't played it and you plan on playing it. It's really, really good. Story is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just as good as the first one, if not better.
Because I remember the first one, I loved the mystery of it. What the whole what happened.
Yep.
And now that you kind of know, I was curious to know how they would play.
And you keep more. You keep more of that. Like it adds bits to it.
Because I felt like you uncovered a lot in the
You
first
did.
one, and so if they're able to add that or like to keep that sense of mystery into it,
Yeah.
I'm actually super excited.
Like, okay, so at the end of Zero Dawn, Gaia destroys herself, right?
Yeah.
To save everything, and then you kind of destroy Hades. The world is still crap, and it's going to crap, and
Yeah.
it's dying still. And your whole purpose of this is trying to figure out how to restore things and like save the planet again.
Yeah.
And then lots of crap goes down, obviously. So that's where you pick off right after that, where the world is dying still. And like it's just so good. Battle is seamless. There's the same different collectibles, all that kind of stuff. Different types of things. Hunting, proving grounds, tall necks, and all that stuff. Like,
see, I will say that's the only thing I really wasn't a huge fan of with Zero Dawn was the getting up on the tall necks for the maps.
mm-hmm.
Like I get the concept of it, but I don't know,
You still have that.
I wasn't a huge fan. I get it, but
they're
I'm
different,
so I feel like that's overdone in games. We're like, hey, climb the tower to unlock the rest of the map. Or like to
so it's
see
like
it.
the Breath of the Wild thing.
It's kind of like
just for your map to see. Like, you still go places. It's all unlocked.
Yeah,
but
No, I know, but
it's kind of like Assassin's Creed getting up on the
the
overlook
overlooks.
areas.
Yeah,
and
it's
in,
like Breath of the Wild.
and Far Cry when you have to get up onto the towers.
Stuff's been around since
It's-
before.
Yeah, I know.
I
for a
just
long
feel like
time.
that
Yeah, I know.
concept in video games is so overdone now that I wanted something that
There's
was kind of
purpose for it, though.
There's a purpose for it. I will agree, but I feel like they can come up with a more creative way to
Sure.
do it.
Yeah.
The thing is, it got monotonous, right, in the first a little bit.
Yeah.
They do it, all that kind of stuff they do differently now.
Okay.
They don't do it differently. It's the same thing, but different instances of how you go about it. Like, so, one tall neck that I did, you find out that it's like missing all these pieces, and there's a bunch of like scavengers that were trying to steal pieces from it.
Okay.
And so you can't climb up because the pieces are gone to climb up,
Yeah.
And all those
So you gotta go get
all
the
those
pieces.
scavengers were killed by machines because whenever you mess with a tall neck, all the machines show up, right?
Yeah.
So you have to use these ballistas and like hook anchors to like pull it down and drag it down and stuff, like, and then you can override it and get that part of the map. But that's just one instance. Like, it's a different type of way you get onto the tall neck or deal with it on every one of them. Like, so it's not so monotonous every time.
Yeah.
It's
See, I feel
just-
like that's exactly what it is in every game with the tower stuff. It just feels so monotonous, and I
Sure.
don't know.
It's
I get
just
it.
a check mark thing, and it's there's purpose for it, whether it's your type of thing or not. There's a lot of puzzles in this game.
See, I like that. I do like
Climbing
puzzles.
all that kind of
Okay.
stuff, which is cool. A lot of people don't like that. I heard one instance, just read an article from Game Rant. Take that for whatever you will, because they kind of suck. But they're like, oh, the Metroidvania elements of this game that they threw in, and just bring it down to a really bad level kind of crap. And I'm like, what, really?
Metroidvania.
I'm like, how? Why is this Metroidvania?
No.
Like, it's because you can go through the game and you can't always do everything because you don't have a tool for it yet.
That's just open world.
So I feel like that's quite a few things.
You can come back and open up more or get like treasures and stuff from other places when you get that item or tool that you need for it later on in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's open world. I'm like, that's not freaking Metroidvania.
No, Metroidvania is distinctively that 2D platformer
I know.
style.
Like,
Yeah.
Game Range retarded.
That's stupid. That's almost like if I were to be like, for example, like with Skyrim, you can't do the main story unless you do the Golden Claw quest. So that means it's the same thing. The same exact thing. It's the Skyrim mechanic.
There's
Obviously.
that. I'm like, who cares? Like, you're bouncing back and forth throughout the entire map all the time. You go back to places that you've already been. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
But all in all, like, it's seamless gameplay. It's really fun. Man, some of the machines suck.
Like suck as in you don't like them, or they're just hard to fight.
Like, they're hard to fight.
I was
Okay.
at Dan's house one day.
No. I'm like, all right, this is stupid. Like, I've just got into. I broke past the Daunts and the Barren Light, which is like epilogue and first beginning of it.
Okay.
I'm not west yet, you know.
Yeah.
And I run into this area, and it's a freaking Thunderjaw place. First, I'm like super low level. He's like triple my level, and looks like, oh, go fight that. I'm like, no.
I did. I told him to.
So I go. I'm like,
"Sure."
all right, I'm gonna shoot it from this far with like a hunter bow into one of its, really weak spots.
Yeah.
Shoot it. No health question. I'm like, all right, I'm done. So I walk away. He's like, no, go fight it.
Well, then you found that like cannon, didn't you, or whatever?
Yeah, I ripped off like a Ravager cannon.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, heavy weapon. Let's shoot it. No
Nothing.
damage.
No
I'm like,
damage.
I'm
Nothing.
done.
Yeah, that.
And he hits me with one blast, and I'm like down to an inch of health. I'm like, no, we're
Yep.
done. We're like,
You're at the point where like a mosquito that farts from 3 miles away would kill you, huh?
the farther you go west, the harder everything gets.
Well, I mean that makes sense though. Like what we were talking about with the Pokemon game, like
That's
even though it's
true in
open
real life.
world, that is true in real life.
Yeah.
You end up in California, life gets pretty hard.
Yeah. But, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but, like, story is so good, and side quests are, like, so worthwhile. They're so cool.
Dude, that's awesome to hear. I
Like,
want to play this game.
some of them, like, you don't have to do, but you have to do because they give you stuff that, allows you to do stuff during the
Yeah.
game. But some of them are just really cool. There's cool characters. Man, the Vegas part is my favorite thing. So, yeah, so.
See, now that
I need to
I didn't know
play this.
Vegas was in this game, and
Oh,
I'm
it's just a desert
genuinely-
until you realize it's not.
I'm genuinely excited to like see
That one's
this,
really
this
cool.
trip and stuff like that. I think one of the coolest moments though was because I mean with the first one, and sorry for kind of you've had
No,
time.
you're good. I need to play it.
With the first one, it was like I didn't know where it was at first. They didn't really say, or they might have said,
No,
but I
You had no
ignored it.
idea until the beginning,
And
until
so-
later on,
Well, not even the beginning of the game. Like it was later on in it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when I got up and I recognized Mile High Stadium, like with the horseshoe. And
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait. And then you see like the Air Force, the training, whatever, that building. I forget the exact name, but it's a very distinct
Yeah.
looking building. And you see that, and you see the horseshoe of Mile High Stadium, and you're like, wait a minute, this is Denver. And it just kind of hits you. I'm like, this is so freaking cool. Like,
That's cool.
because you get up on a mountain, you see that, and then I ran down and I started exploring the stadium. I was like, this is one of the coolest things,
It's such a unique style of post-apocalyptic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
love
That's
it.
something that
It's
has
really
intrigued me about it. That I need to play it. The whole like
You do, dude. It's
It's-
so good.
like prehistoric, but it's post-apocalyptic. It's like you're fighting dinosaurs, but they're robots.
Yeah, because
it's
it's basically the reset switch got hit,
Yeah.
with
It's like everyone is so primitive, yet there's such ridiculous technology everywhere.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
don't know
But no one
where
knows
it
how to
came
use
from
it.
or how to use it.
Yeah,
That's how things are
except
going
for,
to be here in
one
a few
specific
thousand years
person.
after Russia has their way.
Yeah,
I think
this
it's
is like
awesome.
In the 3000s,
yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome, but like
it's a really good story, and
Mhm.
if you always know me, really good story makes really good game for me.
Oh yeah, you're
So-
a very story driven guy
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Which that's great. I
That's
love a
what
good
makes
story.
good games. Like not even I think past just my own preference. Like that's what makes good games.
Oh, absolutely.
and
yeah.
and they really knocked it out of the park with these. And I'm
Usually
super
Sony
excited.
first party games do.
Yeah.
To be fair.
They
Sony
have the
is
story.
the company that
They have
goes
the
and
story.
is like, all right, this is what we're founded on, and we're gonna keep with it because that's what
Yeah.
people love.
I feel like the main distinction is Microsoft is more of a, we're going to push the story off to the side. Let's make sure that multiplayer is
It's
our
all
big focus,
multiplayer.
right? And then whereas Sony's like, you know what? We're going to push the multiplayer off to the side and let's make sure the story is our big focus. And that's kind of the big difference between the two.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of games that go back and forth.
Sure.
There's like you have the cross-play and everything between them. But for their exclusives, though, it definitely is a obvious thing, especially now with them getting like Activision, Blizzard, and all this stuff. It's like it's very obvious that Microsoft is more multiplayer focused, whereas Sony's more story and single player focused. Which
Well, that was always the issue with them for quite a few years now. They only worried about hardware.
Mm-hmm.
They had no games.
yeah,
Nothing. They had no exclusives. They had no
Yeah.
Yep.
really good exclusives. Nothing that made them anyone want to buy their console.
which is why I still don't have a PS. Well, I mean that, and the lack of just being able to
That's
find
why
them.
they
Like
keep-
I don't have a PS5.
That's why they
yet,
bought
but-
Bethesda.
Oh, you're talking
Just Microsoft in
Xbox.
general.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why they bought Bethesda. That's why they bought Activision Blizzard, to have something.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, buy this console for this stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of just, this is really it's the best processor in the business for streaming from a console. I'm like, well, no one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, this hot take here, anyone that actually cares about streaming
Yo,
and
Terraria.
wants to do it as a job is not streaming from a console. So that part, who cares? Like, anyone that actually cares about their stream quality is not doing it directly from a console. I started out that way, but it was only for like a few months until I was like, you know what, I need to get a PC.
They just have the most loyal fan base ever, Zach.
Yeah, Zach goes, Nintendo can accomplish the impossible while botching the basics. That is incredibly true.
I don't know about that. I think that's a bit harsh, but
That's exactly what it
Okay, Zach is one of the biggest Nintendo fanboys of all time, and if he can admit it, you can too.
I don't.
Don't look
I
at
think
it
they
through
have-
rose-colored glasses anymore. I know you love them.
I'm really not. I think
You so
They
are.
have-
You so are.
I wouldn't even say they botch. I'm just saying
I think
they don't care.
They have
about
gameplay. That's what they specialize in.
That. Is it though? It's not really. It's just it's nostalgia.
Yeah, they're
They
playing
live
off
off
of nostalgia. Yep.
And
And simple
know,
mechanics that kids
well-used-
can understand.
yeah, it's family oriented.
Yep.
Well used IPs that are iconic, and they don't want to move from that.
Okay, well,
I get
Terraria
it.
here
That's
says
fine.
Joy-Con drift, but I feel like an issue with hardware does not
Yeah.
play into gameplay
How about
and
prices
software.
for Joy-Cons?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The
Well,
most expensive things ever.
They're
Well,
not
isn't
cheap.
the PlayStation 5 controllers like $70-$80 a piece too, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I'm not sure.
incredible.
It's just
how
because
I don't
expensive
they're
have
putting
an
a bunch of
PS5.
tech in all
Well,
these
I get
controllers
that
now, and
Dude,
that's what it is.
I hate the fact with the PS5 controllers with the adaptive triggers. I've heard about so many of those breaking
Really?
because like people will
It will make sense.
like they go to press down on it, but then it resists, so they press harder, but then they end up snapping something inside. And I've heard or like the motor will just go out because there's too much resistance being pushed up against. Like, I've heard so many different things about. I want to play it.
It's a cool
I
idea.
want
It's
to
just
try.
not practical for a controller.
Yeah, I want to try super bad like Call of Duty with the adaptive triggers though, and have the
Yeah.
resistance and stuff, and like have it kind of bouncing, like like
Yeah.
you're actually firing.
Too bad
I
we'll
want to know.
never get Call of Duty again on PlayStation.
True, that is
No,
fair.
I don't know about that yet. That's different.
No, they'll sell it for.
There's,
money.
I mean,
Yeah.
they-
It'll be
Microsoft
on-
owns
yeah.
Minecraft, and Minecraft's still on PlayStation. They're still
Yeah.
putting stuff out. So I mean, I'm not too worried about that.
You know
but-
they're not doing one every year now.
I know, I saw that. Which actually,
Which
that
is
that can be the
such
fourth.
a plus.
That'll be the
Yep.
fourth
All right,
topic
we'll
since
talk about
Weston's
that
not here. That'll
right.
be it.
So yeah, Forbidden West so far, I think it's stellar. I haven't beaten it yet. You know, we'll see them. I think they did a good job, and I don't talk about Game of the Year this early. You know me,
Oh yeah, you're very cynical. Wait,
but this and Elden Ring are up there.
Oh,
Like,
honestly,
The
okay.
only I don't know what else is.
Have
anything
you have
great.
Elden Ring
Legends
I don't
already?
have
Arceus.
it.
Legends Arceus will
okay.
be on there. Whether you like it or
What's
not, I think it's going to
coming
be on
out
it.
is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Anything new? I don't know of any other stellar game that's coming out that will be
Mm-hmm.
a contender. Really, the only thing that is really going to in contention with this game is Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring will probably get it,
Yeah, I think so too.
but
That game's awesome.
it's up.
Yeah.
It's a contender, and that's how good it is. So
No,
I recommend. you
correct me
play
if
it.
I'm wrong. Just quick reminder, side note about Elden Ring here.
We'll talk
the-
about that in a bit. I think. Oh no,
We're not talking about that.
You already.
He had
Yeah,
to
I
stop
already
it.
talked about
The writer was Game of Thrones writer, right?
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was
Well, he's-
co-writer.
he's part
Okay,
of
well,
it.
co-writer.
The
he-
guy who does all the
Yes.
Souls
Yeah.
stories, Miyazaki.
But they worked together to
Yeah.
write this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could never remember if it's Lord of the Rings or
Game
if
of
it was Game of Thrones.
Game
Like
of Thrones.
I know it was one of those
George
two.
R.R. Martin.
I'd be
That's it.
sick if it was Lord of the Rings guy.
Okay.
The J.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, I always forget what one it was. But do you want to move on then? Since
Yeah, play
We-
the game. It's great.
all right, perfect. So we can stick
Me
on the
too.
video game topic because mine's actually not. Believe it or not, my topic isn't.
Good.
So we'll stick with the video game one since Weston's not here. We'll talk about this, and you already touched on it. Call of Duty not coming out until 20. They're skipping this year. Or is it next
Skipping
year?
this year.
Skipping
Which is
this year.
good.
So the next one's not going to come out
2023
until
is
It's
2023.
a good play.
I love
About
that.
dang time.
I
Holy
have
been-
crap.
I've been saying that for years that they need to
Yep.
do that.
100%.
I have been getting so annoyed with a new game coming out every single year. That's a reason. One of the reasons why I don't play Call of Duty is because I'm getting sick and tired of
I agree.
spending $60, and then you
don't
spend
even
$60 on the
have time
game.
to get into it. Really awesome.
Yeah,
Nope.
and then by the time
By the time it's done,
by the time you're done, the next not even
They
close
might
to
have
being
finished
done.
the game.
The next one's going to be out already.
Yeah.
you know,
you have
like
a bad thing.
it's very annoying.
I don't think it's going to change how crap the games are.
I really hope it does
I
because
think-
I don't think it will.
what's the studio? The
Activision Blizzard.
the one that made Modern Warfare. They're working on the next one, right?
Treyarch.
Treyarch. There you go.
Treyarch is the good one.
Yeah,
They're
Treyarch is
working
a
on
good
this one, right?
On the newest one is
Yeah.
Treyarch, yeah.
Okay, so
Not the one
that's
right now. Sledgehammer did this one.
that's the one coming out in 2023, though. Is
Yep,
Treyarch.
it is Treyarch.
So I can only hope that they start doing this every other year cycle, and because I mean, Assassin's Creed did it, where they finally broke off, and their games ever since they did that, they were kind of drifting down.
Yeah.
Oh, they were garbage.
They broke off the yearly cycle and went every other year. Quality just immediately skyrocketed back up.
Yep.
I mean, when you give your developers time,
You can't rush these things.
No.
And
Infinity Ward. Thank you, Zach. That's
Give
it.
us
Treyarch's got
old
the
prestige
next one, I'm pretty
I thought it was
systems.
Infinity War.
let's see, it was last
Well, here,
one
I'll just-
Treyarch
let me look it
did
up.
was Black Ops 4, right?
Let me Google.
And then it was
I think so.
'Cause
Cold
I
War.
I keep hearing Modern
And
Warfare
now
2.
No,
Vanguard.
Black Ops 4
Or
was
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare is Infinity
War.
Ward, and that's the next one, right?
was it? What about World War? Is it 2 or
No,
World?
Cold War was Treyarch, right?
Yeah, I think Cold War was Treyarch.
Black Ops Cold War, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So Infinity Ward has the next one.
I think.
Yeah, it should be. Maybe.
Let's
Unless
see.
Vanguard is Infinity War. I think it's Sledgehammer though.
You guys can keep talking, by the way. I just
But-
No, I'm excited. I know this is never gonna happen, but I just want the classic prestige system back.
Yep, I do too.
I miss that so much.
So many things. You know what would do wonders for this game series if they just freaking listen to fans and pros.
Yep.
And just do what they need to do to make a quality game, give people what they want, instead of worrying about just getting money from microtransactions.
Yep.
Oh, okay, here we go. So this headline, COD 2023 delayed by a year. Will launch new free title instead, which they're saying is going to be a standalone zombie game.
I'm okay.
So a
with that.
free zombie game?
I'm okay with that.
So it says a
That's scary though.
new report claims Activision does not intend to release a mainline Call of Duty game in 2023. So they're going to have one in 2022, but then 2023 they're not going to have one.
I didn't think they were gonna have one in 2022.
So instead,
thought
opting
they
to
were
well,
gonna have
according to
Vanguard for a while.
this, they're not going to have one in 2023. So
So
They're gonna have
Infinity
a
Ward is
well, here
Is
just
this year, then.
Let me finish here. So it says opting to drop a free-to-play game as replacement and releasing more Modern Warfare 2 DLC throughout 20. So Infinity Ward's coming out 2022. That's Modern Warfare.
Okay.
So the next
Modern
one
Warfare.
then, Modern Warfare 2, because they rebooted the Modern Warfare franchise.
Oh yeah. gosh.
So
And
that
then-
one's coming out this year.
That's gonna hurt because
2023 was
This is such a
supposed to
good
be
game.
Treyarch,
yeah.
but they're going to be releasing a free-to-play zombie game as a standalone instead, and then push that mainline
So
game
this
back.
this is Treyarch's decision.
This is by Activision, I believe, with it, that is going to be pushing
Or
that back.
Microsoft.
Or well,
Can-
It's probably Microsoft.
yeah, but you
Can,
get
uh,
the point.
it's-
It's
so you-
it's a higher up somewhere.
So-
So it's Infinity War for 2022. So there is going to be a Call of Duty game this year, but then
They
next year
should
they're
just
skipping.
they should just like remaster. I know they've done a remaster. No, they haven't done MW2, have they?
Yep, because I was playing it the other night. They just did the story though.
Not multiplayer.
No, they should just
If they did
remaster.
multiplayer,
That
that'd
should
be
be
Oh,
great.
just the full game.
That should just be MW2.
Honestly,
like
can
just
you
have
imagine how much better the Call of Duty scene would
Dude,
be if they just went back to 2011?
MW2 is
It'd be
the
sick.
funnest online
I guess
Call
it'd
of
be
Duty I've had.
2009.
Like
I-
quick scoping
I-
in
I-
that game is amazing. I
Get the
love it,
intervention sniper rifle, dude.
dude. Oh, I love.
If you say the best multiplayer ever, and then you just immediately go into quick scoping, you're such a loser.
that is
no,
pretty bad.
you
I
have
do
you have
agree.
Rust is a
Such
great
Rust is a terrible.
Rust is a great map, and then I can't think of the name of
It's
it,
a
but it's
chaotic map.
What's the one that's
stupid.
What's the one that's got like it's all like the cinder blocks? You know what I'm talking about? Like the giant like white blocks that are piled up everywhere. Quarry, yeah,
Quarry's a great map.
That's a
good
great map.
Too, yeah,
They had a lot of good maps in MW2.
they really did. I think MW2 map-wise,
was really
multiplayer-wise, the story was fantastic. Like, I was
Camos were
replaying the story
Yeah, you
on
actually
Saturday
had camos.
night. I actually hooked up the PS4 and I was playing the Modern Warfare 2 story, and I was like, I forgot how good this was.
Yeah,
A lot of
which
people said
just
Black
give
Ops
us
2 is the best.
just be the game this year. Just give us the online remastered, and it's the same
Dude,
thing
honestly,
as it used to be.
I'd be okay with
I'd be
that.
100% okay with that.
Take me back to 2009,
I
bro.
love them.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I need. That's all I need. I bet your dad would be happy with that too, because I can imagine with all the games he plays. that
he's
he-
more of a Battlefield guy. He's always been a Battlefield
okay, 'cause
guy.
I know that he really enjoys shooters,
thanks.
but I guess it's more Battlefield.
Man, though.
See,
Call of
I
Duty
never
Modern
liked Black
Warfare
Ops 2.
2 remastered.
I like Black Ops 2.
I never liked it because I don't like the mech suit. Or I guess that wasn't
No,
two.
that was
that was
Advanced
three.
War.
That was
That was
three.
Advanced-
three.
That was 3.
That was 3. No, Advanced War was
Advanced
the
Warfare came before
Warfare was like the mech
that. That was
suit
the
one.
first.
I hated that.
That was the first Advanced Movement exosuit.
I hated it.
That
And then the
was-
Black Ops 3
I didn't like
multiplayer.
playing it. I loved watching competitive though. It was really good.
Yeah, the exosuits added a lot to like mobility,
I
which is
hated
kind of
it
cool.
so
Advanced
much.
Warfare was probably the best competitive Advanced Movement
Yeah.
game for sure.
I love
See,
how you could
I-
like just double jump and run the walls. Like that was
It was
sick.
ridiculous.
That was sick.
But
The best part about Black Ops 3 was the zombies, which if they do a standalone zombie game that's free
Black
to
Ops 3
play.
is actually pretty sick competitive too.
See, I don't care about the competitive stuff.
I
I guess
love competitive, though.
when I play Call of Duty, the best part about it now for me is zombies. Like if there's a zombies mode, I'm in. So
down.
if they have a free to play zombies game,
Yeah, I'll play it.
I am all in on that, dude. I cannot wait to see
Free
what
to
they
play
do
is
for it.
scary.
It is because there's gonna be loot boxes, which we talked about 2 weeks ago, and
all
different stuff like
gonna
that.
be-
But
but
Everything's gonna
honestly,
be hidden behind money.
Yeah.
if it's
there's gonna be a battle pass for zombies. Just wait.
I'm not
Nice,
as
that's
much as I don't like the battle pass formula, I'm not opposed to it. Like if it's
better
just
than straight up loot boxes, but
Yeah.
still, it's not good.
like just give us. I think my favorite zombies was probably Black Ops 2.
See, you say that
'Cause
until
that-
you play Black Ops 3
Well,
zombies
I've
on
played
PC.
it.
No, on PC with
You can
Steam.
mod it.
With,
I know.
with custom maps. Like
But
when you're
I-
shooting zombies in the Mario 64
I
castle.
know, but like
That's beautiful. Like there's nothing better.
I look at it as like
Honestly,
the base game.
Black Ops 1 zombies were sick.
Which one? So which maps were that?
That
I'm
was,
trying to. I might be getting mixed
Kino
up here.
der Toten.
Kino der Toten, yeah.
What one had 5?
5 was Whoops, my
That
bad.
was,
That's
that
the-
was Black Ops? Yes.
Which
that
one's
was Black
that? Is
Ops
that
1.
the
That's the
Pentagon.
Pentagon, yeah.
Pentagon?
Where you're playing
yeah.
as like
And
the
then they
president.
Which
had-
one's the? Is that the one
Then
where
Transit.
Transit's
Transit
always
wasn't-
amazing?
Wasn't in
That's
Black
Black
Ops
Ops.
1.
Was that Black
2.
Ops 2?
That's
That's
Black Ops
2.
3.
That's
no,
2. That's
was
for
not
sure.
3.
100%
I,
that's 2.
I played so much
Transit.
3.
Oh, Transit is the best in my opinion.
Transit
don't
was
think
so
Transit's
much fun.
right.
I
Because you go,
loved it.
You go between all the different maps in the game
On the
and
bus.
I'm trying to remember all the
There's
names.
like I love how you can
Moon-
get
Moon
that
was on.
you can build that one part or that one like item where you have to like you get to like the bus
Ascension was a
station or
really good
whatever.
one.
No,
Yeah,
it's you
you're
go
right.
past the bus station to that next
I
area
agree, Ace.
and then you go like you have to like run where the bus came
Ascension
from.
was a
You
sick
like
one.
have to run and
Yeah.
like fast as you can and get to this like cabin in the woods. It's just
Dude,
like
it's such
it's
a
such
good
a
map.
cool Easter
Black
egg
Ops
one.
Black Ops 1 zombies when they first started like throwing in crazy stuff and like putting it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ace said, Ascension was really good.
Yeah, that was a good
And
one.
then
I'm trying to think.
that-
What was Ascension?
That's the first with the monkeys, the
Yeah.
zombie monkeys
Ah,
running around, and
yep.
you have to launch the rocket. And then the next one they came out with was a moon,
Mhm.
is where if you were on the rocket, you got to the moon.
Got
Yeah.
you.
But the space station or whatever. I love Black Ops 1 zombies. I thought that was like heyday.
Yeah, I
but
think Black Ops 2 was good too because Black Ops 2 was that's
was
what,
that the one the underground, like old school town or like mining town?
Yes, yeah.
The-
What
the
was that
one
one
that
called?
Totally didn't
Yeah,
fit at all.
it was like the
and
western. Yeah. That was awesome. I love that
That one
map.
was so weird with like the ghosts and stuff.
And you
I
had
don't remember that.
so it's
and the
like
big
it's this old
hillbilly
western
dude.
town, and like you go underground. It's just this western town that was like sunk in, and then there's like this giant. There's this giant like hillbilly guy, like he's saying, who like if you like feed him candy, he'll bust through doors.
Like it's weird.
That
I
one's
got
awesome.
some
There's like a hedge
candy.
maze with like ghosts that attack you, and
Yeah, there's a witch. The witch house is like the final boss area, and you have to like.
then like you have to get Rich Toffin to like possess one of the zombies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's such a weird one.
I see. I love that one because it's got so many cool like Easter eggs. So
I love the
I think
Easter eggs, but
Origin is another cool map in Black Ops 2. That's like
that-
that's the trenches, and then you have the giant robot, and then it ends up being at the end you find out it's just like a kid's playset.
I don't know if I ever played Origin.
It's
The
like it's
Origin
really
is
cool.
also on Black Ops 3. They redid the map for Black Ops
Did
3.
they?
Yeah, because I have it on there. That's how I know it.
Interesting.
Most of the maps I know from Call of
Maybe
Duty
I'm thinking of Black Ops
zombies.
3 then.
Oh, I know Black Ops 3 has it, but that's because they redid a bunch of zombie maps for that. So
It's all
like,
good. Halo's awesome. dude.
Oh, so, okay, it probably.
so
is.
I'm trying to think. I forget the name. It was like the first one with a Pack-a-Punch is also now in Black Ops 3 because they.
Kino der Toten.
Yes.
Toten.
So
Yeah,
that was my favorite map
I
ever.
love it.
It's such
I
That's the
love
highest
that.
I've ever gotten. Running laps with the boys.
See,
Yeah.
we would sit at the top of the staircase in the Pack-a-Punch room, and then, or like the first one, and if you started to get overrun, you threw a monkey, jumped out the window, you ran a few laps, and you're just right back on the staircase. And we sat there for like 60, 70 rounds.
Run the laps, turn on the turrets, go through the portal for Pack-a-Punch, repeat.
Yep.
Dude, it's such a
Like,
good map.
That
though.
was a
Classic
great map.
zombies.
I
So
watched
good.
Syndicate, Tom Syndicate live go to round 115 on that map because that was the whole Easter egg song and the lore of Element 115.
See
you know?
that? That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
But that
So-
was cool.
If they do a standalone zombie game next year,
I'm
then
down. I'll play
I'm
it.
curious to see what it is. If it is I honestly, I would pay for a standalone zombie game.
I would too.
Like straight up, if they were like, hey, you can either pay $60 for
Do
the full
crazy
game,
things with it.
or pay $40
Yeah.
for the full game, or whatever it would be, or you pay nothing, but then it's a lot harder. Like you have to pay for the unlockables. Like I don't like if there's a battle pass that you have to pay for, but if you get the game full price, you get it for free. Like whatever, I don't care. I would pay full price for a zombie game because I
Yeah.
love it.
Like even newer zombie stuff I like Cold War. The zombies on that was really fun. Like the
I like when they do just crazy stuff.
yeah, like I don't know what the map's called, but like when you're doing the whole Easter egg for the Cold War map and you're like going around and you have to get all 4 of like the elemental weapons and
Yep.
then you have to like shoot the canister that in the science room and then you have to like basically make this one of the big guys and then you have to like put a spirit in him so that he can help you out
Yep.
and then that he like
Dude,
gets
honestly,
to the end.
the Easter eggs that they throw into zombies is so.
I still wanna
fantastic.
go back-
Ridiculous. I don't know how people figure them out.
I still want
I
to go
don't know how
back
people
through,
think of them.
Yeah, I don't either. I want to
Like,
go back
I
through
think
and
that,
finish
but-
I want to get the new one done because they released that second map for Cold War and we started it but we never finished it. I would love to go back and do that one because I want to see what that one
Dude,
is.
I'm down to play that with you guys because it is crossplay, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my buddy would be on Xbox, I'd be
Yeah,
on PC. And
we
we'd
should
play
get
it
a
together.
squad and
Yeah.
we
Played
should
with
play
Nick on Xbox.
because I know me,
Yeah.
Chris, and I think maybe you, or Trevor, whoever was
Trevor,
trying to like
probably.
get that when it first came out, get that second map Easter egg done, but we only got a little bit into it. But it's just as cool as the first one in Cold War. So.
See, I love the fact that zombie Easter eggs, or like the zombie mode in general, was an Easter egg
yeah,
for World at War,
World at War, yeah.
which no one knew it was a thing. Like the guy was kind of just off working on his own little thing, and one of the higher ups was like, "Wait, what are you working on?"
Yeah.
And he showed them. They're like, "You know what? We actually like that. Put it in."
Uh-huh.
And they were like,
Noctur Toten.
"Dude,
Noctur
it was
Toten.
First
so
one.
good." Like I remember playing that for the
remember.
first time. And did you ever do the glitch with the grenade?
I didn't personally.
Okay, you know about it though, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
On the second floor, there's a pop can on the ground, like a can on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
if you run, jump, and crouch, and like you get stuck underneath the pin that's
Yep.
holding the grenade pouch on the wall, and the zombies would stop at that can.
Yep.
And so you get like I at one point was like on round like 300 or 400 before I was like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm gonna shut it off.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. One thing that I just completely remembered is this is the Black Ops 2 map that I loved was Alcatraz. Did you ever play that one?
I did not. I didn't
Oh,
play Black Ops.
That
2
was
much.
awesome. You like play as like old gangsters, and they have like a couple of
That
like famous
was-
actors.
That wasn't Black Ops 2, was it?
Yeah, it was
Was that the same one
Is
with
it-
Call of the Dead? That
Call of
wasn't
the
Black Ops
Dead.
2, was it?
Call of the Dead. Which one is that?
That was, gosh, what was it? It was a World War II one, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
What's
I
the
think so.
second World at War one?
I know it's Alcatraz because the reason why I know these are Black Ops 2 is because me and my buddy Tyler, he used to come to my house a lot and we'd play through zombies modes and we played Transit a lot, and then I bought Alcatraz and then that one we were talking about earlier, the Western one, and we'd play that one too. And Alcatraz was our favorite map to play because the Easter egg in that one was so
I
fun.
thought that one was the same one that had Call of the Dead, which is where you're on like a zombie movie set with George Romero is directing.
Oh,
And you
why
have
don't
all
I
the old
remember
school,
this?
like horror actors are the people, and then he turns into a big zombie.
that's 3.
Is that 3?
That's 3. I'm pretty sure that's 3.
I don't remember.
no,
I don't think it was 3.
I don't think that's 3.
Had a
Let me
sick
see- let me look it up.
Avenged Sevenfold did the Easter egg song for it, Nightmare. Or no, they did it. I think it was good Call of the Dead actually, but
So I don't remember because I played a lot of 3 zombies. So if it wasn't,
Let me look it up.
yeah, Call of the Dead was that one.
Oh, yeah, okay. This was, I think this was Black Ops. This is Black Ops.
okay, because
Was
I
it?
Yeah.
I know I played
Dang.
a lot of Black Ops 3 and I don't remember.
Yeah,
that at
I
all.
remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, and then the boss of it is like just the director, right?
Yeah, George Romero gets turned into a zombie.
Yep.
he
Yep,
chases
that's
you
Black
around
Ops
the whole
1.
time.
Yep, that's Black Ops 1. I remember that one now. Yeah, but no, Alcatraz is awesome because you're playing as these like
The
famous like
gangsters.
gangster actors,
Gotta feed the demon dog.
and then you feed the hellhounds, and then it's so cool. And then you go to the like escape after you build the plane, go to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then you get Pack-a-Punch.
I don't remember any of this.
Don't remember that
remember
one?
that one.
I never
You-
played that map, obviously.
And then like to get back from Pack-a-Punch, you have to get in the electric chairs and like.
To be fair, though, I guess
Distract yourself.
for like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, this was before I had any money at all. And so
Sure.
when it came to buying DLC maps, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
No, it's fine.
I would rather, when I was that age, I would rather spend money on new games and like save up for a new one than buy DLC for a game I had, for like a few new maps or
The
something.
zombie
And
lore is so convoluted.
dude,
It's
it's
crazy.
so good though.
Like I was
It's
saying
so
with the
good.
Origins map, you get to the end of it and you beat the Easter egg, and it just cuts to this little girl and her brother or something playing in their room, and it's literally just the set of like where you were just playing in. Like it looks like trenches. From
I had
World
no
War II.
idea.
And then it's like there.
The little
you
girl
see,
is what's her face? The dude's daughter who ends up being the zombie girl who
Yeah.
has the teddy bear, and you hear
Yep.
her voice.
Yep.
The demon dog is her dog,
Yep.
and she was like, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, but like
It's so messed up and
Yeah,
convoluted.
It's
crazy.
crazy though.
it's crazy. Yeah.
There's a
and you
video online that like goes through all of it, and he's like super speed talking. It's like an hour and a half long video.
Oh god, that's a whole freaking movie.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're all in agreement then that
I think
it's a
good.
great thing that they're
I think
skipping.
it's a
20
really
so,
good idea.
so there is one in this year in 2022.
Yeah,
but
Infinity Ward's
next year,
doing one.
Infinity War is this year. Treyarch is supposed to be the
And
next
so
one.
2 years after that's Treyarch, right?
Uh-huh.
So 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2024 is gonna be a
Yes.
really good one.
So if
I-
they're doing the free,
Treyarch's the year. If you give Treyarch, I think Von der, I don't know if Von der Hart is still the leader of Treyarch.
I don't know.
But if you give Treyarch multiple years to work on a Call of Duty game,
Dude, it's gonna be
It's gonna be
so
gonna be
good.
good.
It's gonna be really
so
good.
good.
they're the one company that, well, it depends on how with higher ups in Activision and everything because they're
Yeah.
stupid. But they were the one company who listened to the fans and listened to the pros.
Yep.
And gave people like they had support,
Yep.
community
Yeah.
support, and
Yep.
feedback, and they listened.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what you need for a good Call of
Yeah.
Duty game. Like, I know
Yeah.
you don't like follow esports at all or anything, but I'm actually pretty into Call of Duty esports scene, and they just don't give a crap about like competitive.
Mm-mm.
They don't give a crap about public.
Nope.
Literally, it's all just money.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot
Least
of.
amount of work for the most amount of return.
Yep.
That is
It's
it.
like why I
That's
quit
what a
playing
lot of
Warzone
stuff,
too.
yeah.
Like they just don't.
It's the same thing.
It's
They'll try to keep that going forever.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've played Warzone in like a year and a half.
no, I haven't played in a while.
Like real talk,
But-
it's been forever. Since
No,
I've
and I
touched it.
think just the idea of like thinking about it too, like say it's even just minimally better, right? Like it's not gonna be this next gen Call of Duty where it's gonna shake up the formula, because I don't know if it's gonna be that, but like even giving them an whole extra year to just polish things and to get things adjusted and so it launches in a better state than most Call of Duties.
There will always
I'm okay
be,
with that.
growing pains. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
tweak weapons and stuff all the time.
Mhm.
Like that's just part of it.
Yeah.
But if you listen and you do that, timely,
Mhm.
that works. If they spent an entire year just working on maps, I'd be
Yes.
okay
Yep.
with it.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair though, so you said if we give them multiple years, like to be fair, they're on a rotation, so they do have multiple years. This is giving them an extra year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I just to
An
clarify,
extra year.
Yeah. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying too. Like
I just wanted to clarify.
I
that.
think they've definitely been a downgrade lately with the past.
Oh,
few
they've
Call
been
of
in a
Duties.
downgrade since like
But-
Black Ops 2.
I honestly did like Cold War quite a bit. I thought
I
Cold
enjoyed
War was pretty
for-
decent.
For what it was.
And so just thinking about what they could do with like an extra year, if like
last
say Cold
really
War was
good
coming
one,
out, they had an extra
really
year on that.
decently good.
That'd be nice.
Black Ops 4 was pretty good.
Black Ops 4. I don't
Black
think
Ops
I've
4
played a
was
ton of
actually
that one,
pretty
but I
good.
heard that one was good.
There's a Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have that?
I don't know if you have it or not.
But
I don't
no,
know.
I thought
What the
Cold War.
fuck?
I thought Cold War was pretty decent.
Agreed, Zach. It sucks.
But,
Yeah,
Like I said, least amount of effort for most return for money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's all it is investors who don't give a crap about that stuff. They just want their money back.
Yep. And
Yep.
that's
And they
usually
run
how it
everything.
goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
usually how it is for sure. So we're all in agreement. So it's a great thing that they're skipping 2023.
Yep.
We're all excited for that game. Then I'm guessing
Yep.
in 2024.
hopefully it
Hopefully, depending on what
does
they do with it.
something good for the scene.
Depending
but-
on what they do, like I'm fully on board with it.
Sure.
But so moving on then, just for the sake of time here
To
to
yours.
my topic, I really wish that Weston was here for this because we were having a conversation on stream a few
F in
weeks
the chat,
ago.
please.
Yeah, F in the chat for Weston not being here. We were talking about this on the stream. This was actually gonna be my topic last week, but then we had to cancel because of the snowstorm and all. Whatever.
I see.
People were trying
that.
to make the argument in my Twitch chat that in Star Wars, Darth Vader is not a bad guy.
Logan will argue this all day long.
And so, I wish
You
Weston...
really want to argue this one?
I do, yes. They were making the argument that Darth
We've
Vader is...
already
I
argued
said
this
Darth
quite a
Vader
bit.
is my favorite villain. And they started the argument that Darth Vader is not actually a villain.
Well, before Logan speaks, I'm going to tell you what he's going to say. Darth Vader is a great villain. He is a total villain. Anakin Skywalker is not a villain, and they're two different people. Is that what you're going to say?
Maybe.
Oh, false.
So overall,
Evil.
overarching character,
Choices matter.
Darth Vader
Don't give him the scapegoat.
is
Don't
a
give him
villain.
out. Yes, he is.
Dar-
Agreed.
And
I
he
agree.
is... See, and I even argued, like, up till the end, he's still technically a villain.
It's one person.
Like, you can't...
Vader's a villain the whole time. He's. I'm just not even gonna.
Shut
Dan's
up.
gonna sit there.
No, I want... Just go. I
We've
brought
done
this
this
up.
a couple times on the podcast.
We
already,
have,
man.
but I.
But not talking about Vader being a villain.
Yeah.
I.
When I said Star Wars is overrated, we had a long conversation about this.
They.
From a certain point of view, Darth Vader killed Anakin Skywalker. Shut up, Zach.
No, like
how did he?
So
kill
what I
him,
told
though,
you
if he
was
came
true
back in the
from
end
a certain
anyway?
point of view.
That redemption.
Oh, this is so frustrating because we've had this talk so many times, and that's just
why
I
I
feel like
brought
it
it
goes.
up.
I feel like it goes nowhere because
It's not gonna go anywhere because we're never gonna change our minds.
I bring it up because
Yeah.
I know that you're gonna get fired
yeah
up
no,
about it.
but it is this idea that it is two separate, not two separate entities, but like it's weird. There's the light side version of this person and there's a dark side version of this person.
It's one person.
And Darth Vader is the dark side, and Anakin Skywalker is the light.
It's one
and
person choosing
the
and struggling
dark
with his
side-
own issues.
The dark side consumed him, and that
He
is
gave into it and chose that.
he. It's always.
We're never gonna. Why did you bring this up?
I know,
Because content.
but
We've done this before though.
the idea is the dark side in Anakin has always been there, and it's Darth Vader has always existed in Anakin. Whether obviously it wasn't titled Darth Vader until
No,
Palpatine
his
gave him the
came
name,
a bit later.
but like
Lord Vader.
the reason that Anakin didn't willingly become evil because he wanted to be evil, he turned to the dark side because he wanted to save Padme, and he had the super rare force ability of future sight, which is something that I don't think any canonical Jedi has had. It's something that's like
Legends. That's it.
yeah,
I mean,
Legends. I think
Yoda
of
was
it.
kind of able to see. Into the
No,
future a little
like
bit.
Anakin though is on a Anakin's
I
like
know it's a whole nother level, but Yoda still had he was still able to
Kinda-
look into it.
kind of to an extent.
I
he's
think
just
because of
just
he's just really sensitive,
intelligent
and he's like
to that
a
point
bit-
where he can just guess what's gonna.
yeah,
you know,
he can like feel, he can
probability.
sense stuff before, like a little bit before they happen. Anakin was able to see like future events, like
What was
months
the line that
ahead.
Yoda had in Episode 3 where he was like, "Be careful when looking into the future." Like he must have known about it or has done it, and then like just chose not to.
Well, I mean, it's also Yoda. He's been
I
around
know,
for like
that's
1,000
true,
years,
but
and he's
What's
been
the thing
taught.
about looking in the future? Once you see
When
it,
900
that
years
doesn't
you
mean
reach
that's
and look
what's
this
gonna
good,
happen
you will
anyway.
not.
Yeah.
It's just a possible future.
But it's, and I feel like the what do you I'm trying to think, like the Clone Wars and Rebels and some of like the side stuff kind of expounds upon the idea of that Anakin isn't the bad guy. He's the the light side of this character.
victim.
Like
Yeah, such a victim. That's why he slaughtered the men, the women,
That's Darth
and the
Vader.
children.
that's Darth
Master
Vader.
Skywalker.
That was it. There's too many of them. What are we going to do?
I hate sand.
I saw.
I
Did
hate
you
sand,
watch
it's
that
cool.
video that I sent you?
It gets everywhere.
Did you watch that TikTok that
Yeah,
I sent you?
That was really
So
funny.
yeah, there was
That was
someone that
really
was
funny.
they were talking in like a Discord call, and this girl was like, "Oh yeah, she's like, I just got done watching episode 2. The younglings are so cute with their little hats," and the guy just started laughing,
Yes,
and she's like, "Wait, what happens to the young?"
Execute Order 66.
She goes, "What happened to the younglings?" And he just started laughing. She's like, "Do they die?" And like started crying in this Discord call.
It was really
That
funny.
can't be real.
It was really funny.
It was pretty good, but
No,
it's one of those
it's-
things. It's like I don't know. I feel like Darth Vader, 100%. He's a villain. You cannot change my mind.
No, he is.
And he will agree with
I
you.
don't. I want to
It's
understand.
different.
No, yeah, and I want to see what they meant by that, like how he's not a villain.
I
Like,
said, all right. So
'cause
here's what happened. So I said that Darth Vader is the best villain in any movie
Yeah.
series that I've seen. Like out of all the movie series, Darth Vader overall is my favorite villain. He's
Sure.
cool.
Yeah.
He's
He's a cool
mystical. Like he's just if you picture a
You
perfect villain in your head,
lightsabers.
yeah. But like if you picture a perfect villain in your head, I feel like just with
That's not
the
who comes to my
demeanor,
mind.
I picture Darth
Okay.
Vader.
Yeah,
like that
sure.
in
I
my
disagree.
mind.
I
Yes.
think he's up there
So,
for me too. Yeah.
He's cool. I do.
Yeah,
like
so basically, I was saying that, and someone goes, but Darth Vader wasn't actually a villain.
See,
And I was like, are you
Well, they're
stupid?
fundamentally wrong.
did they expound upon that at all? Like, 'cause
Oh, dude, there was like a whole 30-minute discussion on this.
were they trying to get at the point I'm making
my
though, or
apologies.
was it a completely different?
They
'cause-
said that even like throughout the entire thing, it was still Anakin, and it was still good. So technically, he wasn't a villain. And I'm like, that's not how that
but
works.
Anakin was a good.
Okay, Anakin. they even made the argument that like in Episode 6, he wasn't a villain in that movie because he redeemed himself, so that wiped away everything. And I'm like, that's not.
Because
I mean, who cares about
Anakin
Alderaan,
took
right?
over back.
Yeah, who needs? Yeah,
Well,
you know.
Darth Vader has always been the villain, but Anakin took control finally back in Episode 6, and that's like
I feel like even at that point, you're still a villain.
yes.
Because here's the thing: it's the same person, it's the same body, right?
I think
it's the same person,
Yeah.
the same brain. Okay.
Yes
So-
and
But
no.
it's two different people.
Okay.
We're
so
th-
even
okay.
like let's take it this way:
I totally
serial-
understand what he's saying. I just disagree.
a serial killer as a child, and like growing up, you'd be like, oh yeah, he was such a nice kid. What happened? Oh yeah, he became the bad
But
guy.
that's the thing. That's the thing where we're kind of getting a hiccup here, is that Zach kind of pointed out here in one of his comments
This is a
that
different universe.
it works differently in Star Wars, like the idea of good and evil, and like
It doesn't.
the
though.
perception of what is good and evil are determined by different things. And in Star Wars, like I was saying earlier, the Clone Wars actually does a really good job explaining this when they go to that. I can't remember what it is, but there's like an arc where they go to this planet, like this force planet, and they meet these brothers. They meet the light brother and like the dark side brother, and Anakin sees his future. Like he gets corrupted by this dark brother, and
so you're telling me that he sees his future of him being the villain in the movie, and he still doesn't change
he
it?
sees the future of the dark
Man.
side of him taking over and becoming Darth Vader.
So at that point,
It's
how do
very
you
fundamental
not
to me,
change your?
Zach, but
That
to each
that
their
means
own.
that
I love Darth Vader. don't get me wrong,
naturally
but
you're evil. Then if you know you're going to become evil and murder millions of people,
He's
Well,
iconic.
it was-
I don't necessarily think he's crazy.
He doesn't.
innovative.
He doesn't end
for
up
that, I guess, but
remembering
you know what I
that
mean.
stuff. It's the
He's
dark.
cool though. Don't get me
I
wrong.
feel like
To
there's-
each their own, man.
okay, you got to remember for audio listeners, they're not going to be able to distinguish two different voices talking about two different things at two different times.
I don't
They
care.
can. But no, it's.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Oh, shut up.
But now it's something we've talked about a few times, and it's a lot of interesting discussion. But from as huge of a Star Wars fan as I am, and I've the kind of like stuff I've looked into, and like the stuff that I know of the world, it's pretty clear that Anakin and Vader are two separate entities.
You see what you
And-
want to see, man.
I feel like they're the same person. I mean, they obviously are. Because even when when Luke is like Anakin Skywalker, and he goes, "That is a name I have not used in a long time." He even admits, like, that's my name. So he's admitting right there, yes, that's me.
No, he's showing that like that's not his name. Like Anakin is not a name that he's been referred to because he's not Anakin anymore. He's Vader.
But technically, he's
In that
still
moment,
Anakin.
he's
Just with a
Vader.
nickname.
I don't know. I feel like it's just. I'm trying to figure out what to say because I feel like we're just going around in a circle here. And it's like,
it's always gonna be, man.
and
It's just fun
You-
to it's just fun
There's
to
nothing
poke
you
at
can.
you.
I understand completely what you're saying.
yeah,
It's not hard to understand.
yeah.
I just don't think that's right. You know, like even when you bring in the whole like his eye color changing, back and forth, right? That was Anakin, when it was
Mm-hmm.
blue, right? No, he might have a moment of weakness or realization, like, man, this kind of sucks. It's still one person making choices. You see the devil and the angel, and it's still one person that has to make the choices for each.
Yeah.
It's still one.
And when one
It's still
person,
one person.
you still go down that path, you're still
If this
The
is
same
truly
person.
a character of redemption right at the end, like it's the greatest redemption story ever, right? He comes back and overthrows Palpatine, saves it, dies saving Luke, right?
yeah.
still a villain.
how is it a redemption if Anakin is always good and he just overthrew Vader? It's not redemption. It's just him taking control again.
Well, that's why it's called Return of the Jedi. It's because Anakin's returning.
Then it's not a redemption story, though. And yet he's called the greatest redemption story ever. Like, it's not redemption then, if it's just one person who has been locked away.
Yeah, I could see that. But no, that's literally why it's called Return of the Jedi. It's not because Luke is like an actual realized Jedi.
The new
it's
Jedi
because
Order.
Anakin is returning. That's the whole idea of why it's called Return of the Jedi.
But technically speaking, Anakin was there the whole time. So how did he return?
he took control back over.
He chose to make better decisions because he's one person.
See, it's the same person.
He
Thank you, Dave.
overpowered
Overthrew
Vader.
his own, I don't know, consciousness giving into the dark side, his own weakness there.
That's
I would
almost
call that a weakness, not a separate entity.
That's just like if there was someone that, lived their whole life making great choices, then one day they just snapped and they went off and they started killing a bunch of people and they gave him a nickname for the serial killer. You'd be like, oh, well, that's a different person because he has a new name
I mean,
now.
his choices were for he did those things for reasons of good in the first place, though.
But
it was just the wrong thing to do, and it let him on a
in the dark,
path.
and like I was saying, like we're thinking of it from a real world perspective, and from a real world perspective, I would completely agree with you. But the way Star Wars works and the way the dark side works is not how anything in the real world works. Like, evilness is just a part of us. It's our nature to be evil and to do bad things. And
don't you think
in
Anakin
Star
proves that
Wars,
it's kind of the same thing there?
Star Wars, it's more of a, I don't know if sickness is the right word, but it's like, it's something that it takes over you. It takes over you. Like, the dark side takes over. A great example of this is Mace Windu, one of the best Jedi ever. He is constantly pushing the dark side of him down because he uses a forbidden lightsaber style called Vapad, which draws on the dark side. Which is why he's like the best lightsaber duelist in the galaxy.
This is getting way deeper than I expected. This topic
Not
to.
after he lost that arm.
True. But so there's a lot of stuff that talks about
like
Mace
addiction.
Windu.
It's like power. Power is addicting.
And that dark side of him, he has to suppress a lot of the time, and so he has to kind of sit out of some battles, and he has to like be very mindful of when he fights because of him drawing on the dark side.
It's called temptation. It's temptation because there's power there.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, whether you like it or not, I think that adds as well to my argument as much as it does to yours. Like, this is a never-ending argument between
No,
us.
it is, and I just wanted to kind of poke the bear with it a little bit. I just wanted to get Logan going for content.
No, I mean, it's whatever. I love having discussions about Star Wars,
Yeah.
regardless of if it's something we debate about.
If
It
I
was
make you angry.
it was the topic that I was gonna have here last week, but then we had to cancel, so
Yeah.
we didn't have it. And then I was like, oh yeah, that was it, because I told you guys last week I had one, and then I just forgot while we were at Wings. I couldn't think of what it was. It hit me. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it was. So I just wanted to bring it up.
Have you watched Mandalorian yet?
I've not yet.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, dude.
Are
need
you
to.
actually a Star Wars fan, or do you just you like Darth Vader? That's it.
I like Darth Vader.
Well, then get out of here, dude.
I also do like Boba Fett, so I gotta watch it. Boba Fett's cool. He's mysterious, and that's what I like.
Boba Fett's cool. Din Djarin's better. I'm gonna call it right now.
Okay.
I think Din Djarin's better.
Well, I guess when I watch it, I'll find out. Huh?
I think I'd agree with you. I really do. I think
He's such a cooler character fleshed out right now.
so. I think this is a take I've heard from a YouTuber I watch, and it was just when he was reacting to like the last episode or whatever, Boba Fett, and he made this comment about the reason why people are kind of so upset with how Boba Fett is as a character,
it's different,
and it's because, well, the reason is because Din Djarin is what people wanted Boba Fett to be,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can't have two Boba Fetts, or else it makes no sense. Like there's no reason to have Din Djarin, and so they've had to.
Boba Fett is completely changed now with his
Yeah.
experiences from
Yeah,
the book.
and it's warranted changes, but I agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
Din Djarin is the Boba Fett people wanted. Like, the kind of more mysterious, the standoffish,
Especially season 1. He's
Yeah.
changed too.
Yeah, he's grown up too. And I don't think I love what they did to Boba Fett, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying anything bad about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But that is why people are kind of polarized about it. And I think that is a really interesting idea that I kind of agree with, is the fact that they've had to switch
just
kind
to
of
like
Boba Fett.
pull things back in, we're gonna have to end it here. So since otherwise we're gonna be talking about Book of Boba Fett and everything for like the next 3 hours. So we are getting off on a completely different topic than is Darth Vader the bad guy or the villain, which
He's not. Or Darth Vader is.
Absolutely
Darth
is.
Vader absolutely is. I'd agree with that.
Yes, he is.
okay. So that's where we're gonna end this. So guys, thank you so much for watching episode 35 of Uncalled For. Rip Weston and Rip Chris. He's out of town, so he was supposed to film the weeks there.
Chris.
MIA Chris and Dead Weston. Those are the two. So thanks for watching. It's been a blast as always every Monday night here at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/Huge Media Studios, and then uploaded 5 days a week. Don't you dare do that. That's so annoying when I'm trying to edit and I have to hear you.
I'm done. I'm not even touching it.
I don't care. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been a blast as always. We'll see you next week. I hate you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.